Some of the most popular advice that I hear online today start off with the phrase, how to get a man to chase you. Let's talk about it because I don't think we fully considered the fact that a secure man, a man who is in his high value masculine energy, is never going to chase someone. The moment that you start playing games and think of it as this manipulative game for a relationship to develop on, he's going to catch on to this really quickly, and he's going to find someone who's actually interested at the same level as him. That is a high value man. The only type of men that these kind of game works on is the type of guy that enjoy the feeling of pursuing. They love the hunt. They love the chase. They love one thing, and once they get it, it's on to the next thing. They're emotionally immature. They're emotionally unavailable. You've probably at this point experienced one or two of these in your day because let's face it, that is a lot of what the dating pool entails. And if you've experienced this before, you'll know it because they give you all of the energy in the very beginning. Come to find out weeks, months later, he couldn't keep up with it. He's only chasing a feeling. Once you get this in your head, you realize that chasing is actually a red flag. Welcome back to another episode of Way Too Wifey. I'm your host, respectfully Gabby, and in this podcast, we talk all things dating and relationships in this modern day. And if you're new here, hi, I'm Gabby. I'm an online dating coach where I help you transform your confidence to live your best lives inside and outside of relationships. Guys, it all starts from within, and if you don't feel right from within, or if you don't feel confident from within, it's going to reflect in your love life, and your love life is going to be a direct mirror of all of the triggers that are happening inside of you, which we can take care of together. You guys book a discovery call, hit the Stan link in my bio or in the episode description, the 8-week transformation program if you're really trying to see a difference. Otherwise, I do help with like situational case-by-case basis. So check it out, hit the link in my bio or in the episode description. Also, if you could, you guys, if you've been watching this for a while, if you have any type of love to give, now is the time. Hit that 5-star rating, hit the subscribe button, turn on your bell notification so you'll never miss another episode, depending on where you're watching this. But you guys, every Tuesday, I'm back at it again. That is what keeps me going when I'm like, oh, actually people do listen to this. And this is kind of wild that we've gotten this far. If you could do that small favor for me, and I promise it will come back in tenfold, okay? It'll come back to you in the most magical ways. You just gotta give a little love. That's it, okay? But let's hop into the episode. I am so excited, you guys. I am leaving for London in 2 weeks, which you already know what it's about. I'm about to have a hot girl summer. That's all that I know for sure is happening. I can't wait because I just feel like every time I'm in London, some great things happen to me. I feel like it's my dream life. I was trying to explain this to someone that I was talking to a couple days ago, and I was like, I can't really explain it. I've never felt like this about a place before, but every time I go to London, it feels like a dream. Like it doesn't feel real. It just feels like this, like it was a dream that didn't actually happen. And then I wake up in my real life and I'm back in Florida, and it's just like, how did I get here? So I'm really excited. I'm going to be having a little Europe girl tour. So I can't wait to take you guys along with me because it's about to be the summer, if you know what I mean. More to come on that. I don't have too many updates because obviously I haven't gotten there yet. Here we are. Guys, I've been seeing this all over the internet, and I'm sure at this point you've probably heard about this, and if not, I'll give you a quick little rundown, okay? It's the black cat versus golden retriever energy, right? And in this really is just the masculine and the feminine, but it's just a cute way of putting it, and I think that it's caught on because it is a cute way of saying that, and it's a good example if we're being real. I don't usually like to talk about like masculine and feminine in this podcast just because I'm like, we all have masculine and feminine. I think when you try to be something that you're not, or like you try to fit this mold or like be this person that you're not, it doesn't come across as authentic. And I try to stay away from these kinds of conversations just because I do think that within us, we all have both polarities, and it's about finding someone that's going to match those polarities. But I do like this example because it's all about the masculine being the pursuer, the person that is, I don't want to say chase because we're going to get more into that as I have discussed before. If you are chasing someone on either side, it's thirsty. I equate thirst to the chase. To be honest, anyone that is chasing is probably emotionally unavailable and probably a red flag and probably has a lot of things that they need to heal within themselves. And if you feel like you're the chaser and like you want someone's energy so bad, there's probably a lot going on internally that you need to look at that is really unhealthy and is showing up in your relationship. So book a call with ya girl. Okay, back to the golden retriever and black cat. I love this example because I think when you're in your feminine energy where you're just like, I don't chase, I attract, I am letting things be and things will come to me. I think that's a very beautiful place to be in because you're not forcing the pieces. And honestly, it's been a really long journey for me to even like get to this place where I'm like, you know what? I'm putting way too much effort into these men that aren't even that important. Let me fall back. I feel like I'm like really fully locked into this right now. Like, and it feels really good. It feels really powerful. I'm not going after men that are emotionally unavailable. I'm not going after men that haven't shown the reciprocal being the key word here, energy back towards me. I'm sitting back, watching everyone play their cards. I'm observing how people are moving. And by the way that everyone else is moving is going to show me how I need to act accordingly, which is kind of like, oh, match their energy. But like also don't love that phrase either because I think that there's a way to match energy in a sense that it's a reciprocal relationship and not match energy in the sense of, okay, he doesn't care, so I'm going to prove that I also don't care. That's considered game playing. Being the black cat, like, I don't think you understand how good it feels to just let the pursuer be the pursuer. But I will say in a lot of these like advice or people like trying to explain the black cat, because what is the black cat? The black cat is very selective about who she's giving her energy to. She's very selective. She's watching everyone's moves. She's not too in your face like, oh, I need your attention. I need your affection. I need all of this. I'm so needy. Pick me, choose me, pick me, girl. No, she's sitting back, watching how everyone else is playing their cards. And then she'll show a little bit of interest, right? She'll show like, maybe you've won me over. My best friend has a dog and a cat, and it took her like years for this cat to like her. And once she finally did, she called me. She's sent me pictures every time she like sits on her lap. She's like, oh my God, she's sitting on my lap. This is a really big deal. Like, you want to be in the energy of like very selective about who you're giving your energy to, but you have to still show a little bit of interest. And I've coached a lot of people too at this point where they're like, okay, well, every advice online is saying you have to sit back and let the man do all the work and let the man pursue you. And I'm not showing any interest. I'm not going up to him first. I'm not shooting my shot. I'm not making the first move. That's weakness. Like, a man should do that. Guys have to know that you're interested before they even think about shooting the shot in most cases. Unless, again, they're the chaser, where these are the men that you don't want anyway. These are the men that are in your DMs that are having a full-on conversation with themselves because you have yet to respond, or all you're responding is a double tap heart, and they haven't gotten the message that you're not interested, so they're pursuing you even more. They're writing a message to you every week, every post that you post. It's, hey, you look so good. Hey, I could treat you so much better. Hey, how are you doing? Hey, how have you been? I've never once responded to you. Why are you even giving me this energy? It's those type of men that aren't getting the hint that you aren't interested. And I can say on the opposite side of that, because I have coached some girls, and I have probably been here myself, honestly, that pursue without taking the hint that he's not interested. So it's all about being reciprocal. And that's the point that I really want to get across in this episode, is the reciprocity? I don't know, you guys. Being in a reciprocal, he's giving, you're giving a little bit. It is the women's job to show interest. Right? You don't want to fall back all the time, because the moment that you keep falling back, the moment you're playing hard to get, the moment you're playing all these games like, I don't need you, I don't need you, I don't need you, I don't need you. And then once he's finally like, oh, well, I guess she doesn't need me then. He's going to go find someone that's going to appreciate when he's actually around. He's not going to sit around and, take the abuse or take the, like, your attitude, because he can go find someone that's going to actually make him feel good. That is the right, secure type of guy that you actually want in your life, not the type of guy that's going to continue and continue and continue and continue, because at that point, it is a game. And the only men that are willing to play games are the players. Do you hear me? The chasing is not cute. It's not attractive on either side. It's not cute. Sitting back in your black cat energy, allowing the man to be the man and pursue you and make the plans. He's the one that's curious, right? The golden retriever, he's curious. He wants to know what the black cat is up to. He wants to pursue the black cat. He wants to play with it. He's the one initiating for the most part. But I will say that there are times where guys aren't really the smartest, if I'm being honest. They're not going to take all of the hints, or we think we're being so obvious. Some men don't pick up on obvious hints that we're interested, or they're like, oh, well, she's just being nice. I doubt that she's probably into me. You have to be clear that you're interested. Show signs of interest, which, what does that mean, Gabby? Or how much interest is too much interest? I'm hearing all of you questioning right now. What is too much interest? When you're texting him first all the time, too much interest, okay? Give him a couple times where he's reaching out, and then maybe once or twice you're like, hey, like, thought about you, or like send him something funny. Send him something that is unique to your relationship, that you were thinking about him. Send him a meme, send him a whatever that you're thinking about him. But it's not you're sending him all of these things. You're asking him to hang out. You're doing all the initiating, because what you're actually doing, you might not be meaning to do this, but you're putting him in his feminine energy, where most men don't feel comfortable in this energy. You're being the masculine in this situation where he doesn't feel comfortable to pursue you, because you're doing all the pursuing, and you're telling him that he doesn't have to work that hard to get you. I would say if you're the one who's constantly being the chaser, or the one that's going after him, give him space. Let him breathe. He's not that interesting. Most guys, I'm sorry, but like, they're not that interesting. Give him space to breathe. When he's ready, he's gonna pursue you. He's gonna cling on to you, because you're allowing that gap of space that is needed in order to build a relationship, an actual relationship, okay? And how much space is too much space? Okay, let's get into it. If he wanted to reach out, if he wanted to make the plans, he will pursue you. The right guy for you is going to initiate plans. He's going to set up an actual date with you. He's going to reach out to you, text, calling, whatever. However he's going to reach out, he's going to reach out. That is a man that's interested. You only want to entertain men that are actually interested. Again, there's a difference between pursuing and chasing. So if it feels like going at such a fast rate, very likely that he's probably more in the chasing. Pursuing is different, because pursuing, if he's actually interested, he's going to show interest. He's going to make the plans. He's going to lead you in the right direction with intention in this. It's not going to feel confusing at all. You know that he's interested, but it's up to you. It is the woman's job to show interest. So if he's planning all these dates, he's doing all these things, and you're just sitting back and allowing him to do all these things, give him a little bit to work with. Like, give him a little affection. Put in a little bit of work. I'm not saying that you have to go the full mile and give him full wifey treatment, treat him like a king. He hasn't earned that yet. This is very early on. There's two sides. There's two women here. There's the woman who is like, I'm not showing any interest at all, because I want him to be fully on board. I want to be the dream girl. I want to be the prize, the queen. He's gonna chase after me kind of girl. Or on the opposite hand of that, there's the girl who, okay, well, maybe he didn't get the hint, giving excuses to him, or maybe he doesn't know that I'm interested. Maybe I have to go be the one to show all of this interest and give him all of the things. You know which one you are, by the way. If you are the latter, the girl that is basically doing the chasing here and the pursuing here, give him a little bit. If he doesn't bite, let it go. That's it. He's not interested. And it's very cut and clear. Give him a little bit. If he doesn't bite, or if he just like nibbles at it, he's not interested. And he's not interested in taking this further. If you're the one always initiating plans, if you're the one always asking questions, if you're the one keeping the conversation going, if you're all about him and he doesn't feel like he has to work at all, he's not going to respect you in the way that you need him to respect you in the relationship, which is the dynamic of the black cat golden retriever energy. You want him to be the pursuer. If you're on the other hand of this, where you're sitting back, don't want to show too much interest or interest at all, there's going to be some good men that probably show up in your life that leave the date. They're like, I don't think she was interested, so I'm not even going to I'm not going to bother. I'm not going to put my energy into this. And you might think, oh, that's kind of toxic. No, it's not, because he also deserves someone that is going to treat him with respect and treat him as if he's interesting, and he wants to be with someone who's interested in him. So why would he stick around and play this little game with you that he doesn't want to play? He wants to be with someone where it's clear and that he can put his intentions into, and he'll have someone who's actually interested in him. And you might be like, well, I was interested in him. Show him a little bit. You just got to show him a little bit. Some men don't pick up on all of the ways that you're showing. And I used to be honestly both girls. I used to be both girls, because I'm like, well, I'm going to make him work for this. I'm going to make him work. And then these really great guys would come into my life, and I'm going to kind of be a bitch, because guys like bitches, right? And then I would be a bitch. And then he would eventually be like, okay, got the hint, not interested. And then he would move on to the next thing. Or like, I wouldn't show too much vulnerability, or wouldn't show him too much of myself. And he'd be like, I don't really understand her. I don't get it. And I'm going to move on, because clearly there's some kind of like dynamic. And honestly, if he were to have pushed a little further, whatever, maybe something could have came out of it. But I will say it's reciprocal. It's got to go both ways, or else there's no relationship. Someone shouldn't be carrying all of the weight of a relationship. It's just not healthy. I get that you want to be treated like a queen and pursued and whatever the case is, but you got to work with them a little bit. And if you really are someone who wants a relationship and wants a healthy relationship, knowing that showing a little bit of yourself, a little bit of your emotions, a little opening up a little bit, actually beneficial in the relationship. I also wanted to bring this back. I have talked about this before, but you are the chooser. As the woman, you are the chooser. You get to pick the men that you want. That's the power that we hold. And I know a lot of you are probably like, not true. Not true. I've wanted this guy and he doesn't want me back. You get to choose them. It's up to them to want you back. Okay. If you're out in public and you're like, I would never be the one to shoot my shot. I would never be the one to pursue a man. Women are like, oh, I'm so old school. I want the man to come up to me. There are so many great men out there that are scared to pursue you because they don't want to be rejected, or they don't want to annoy you or be the creepy guy that comes up to women all the time that is annoying. He is going to sit back because he doesn't want to annoy you. Those are the good men that you actually want in your life. So if you're scared to shoot your shot, fine. It's not necessarily shooting your shot. It's just showing a little bit of interest for the man to make the move. That's it. I get that some men are a little slow on picking up on the hints, but, giving him glances. And even sometimes, I know for myself, I mistakenly glance at sometimes at people, but being intentional, holding a gaze, being confident enough to hold the gaze too, because I think that's so huge. I think a lot of times you'll make eye contact with someone and look away really quickly because you got nervous, but hold a gaze. It's going to show that you are actually interested. Or ask a small favor. This is something I love to do, and I have a whole video on shooting your shot, which you can go back and rewatch or listen to, whatever, as like a quick little tiny recap of showing interest. It makes the world of difference. You get to choose and you get to have the options of who you want. It's up to you to drop those seeds in order for it to be planted, in order for the love to blossom. Okay. I think that's it for this week's episode. Okay. I feel pretty good about getting the point across. It's got to be reciprocal. Everyone has the polarity of masculine and feminine within them, and honestly, it's not always going to be the man putting in all the work, the man pursuing at all times. Sometimes you gotta give a little bit to get a little. Give them a little inch. You don't have to give them the mile. So with all that being said, that's it for this week's episode. I hope you enjoyed, and I hope that you got some kind of value out of this. If you have, again, now is your time to leave that 5-star rating. Hit the subscribe button, turn on your bell notifications so you'll never miss another episode, and I will see you all next week. I actually have already planned, which is unheard of, because usually this video I planned last minute. I think probably this morning at 6:30, I woke up, I'm like, crap, what am I going to talk about today? And here was my episode. But I actually almost replaced it with a whole different episode, which I will probably talk about next week. We're diving into mistakes that you are making in your dating life very early on in regards to confidence. We're going to work on your confidence next week. So tune in next Tuesday. I will see you all. And yeah, cheers.